question. If restitution is a civil punishment for theft, why does Ephesians 4:28 tell the thief to stop stealing and labor to help those in need, yet not mention paying back? In other words, restitution is not part of what Paul is talking about. In the case of Pauline's letters in the Greek, you always have to follow all the sentences and check what they begin with. Right before this verse, which is third verse or so, third or fourth verse in the sentence, there's a previous sentence. It starts at verse 17 and extends all the way through verse 24. And the issue of that verse goes like this. You are no more to walk as the other nations walk in the vanity of their mind. Verse 22, you are to put off the former behavior. And so when we get to verse 25, which is the beginning of the sentence where 28 is, it starts with the word wherefore. So you have to then look at here's the big deal here, this big long sentence, and then a wherefore, and then these are examples of what we're doing, which is what? Switching behaviors. Switching behaviors. Because the opposite of stealing, which is laboring to take from someone else, is work which produces something, which is productive, that you can give to others. So instead of laboring to take, you labor to give. So the opposite of stealing is not restitution. And here's the problem, of course, is that if I steal and they catch me and I make restitution, I steal again, I catch me and make restitution, I keep this cycle up. Have I stopped stealing? No. There's restitution in the package because I'm always being caught and making the payment, but there's still stealing. So the former behavior has not changed. So what Paul is contrasting here are the two behaviors. Restitution never comes into play because he's talking about what are you doing? What is your behavior? It's an ethical concern that he has with the personal behavior of the individuals. If you stop stealing, then you will be productive instead. The restitution is a given because that is not in a separate category entirely. See, so it's like they say is what's the opposite of grace? It's law. No, opposite of grace is works. Opposite of law is lawlessness. And the same thing here. We have a cross-category confusion when we're saying, well, there's no restitution, but restitution is not the opposite of stealing. It's simply a remedy enforced on the thief, and that thief can still walk in the form or conversation of his life. So what Paul is focusing at is what are you doing? What is your conduct? What is your behavior? And that behavior must no longer be in the vanity of the other nations. It must now change to proper behavior, which is godliness, which is productivity, so that you have something to give to those in need, which is the essence of 428. So here the context rules everything. So this shows us the hazard of taking this little snippet of a text, which is embedded in a context about you changing behaviors, and suddenly say, what's missing here? It's an argument from silence, is, oh, restitution is missing. No, it's not. It's not even part of the picture because the question is how to put off one behavior and put on another behavior. You're not going to put on the behavior of being a restitutor. You're going to put on the behavior of being productively laborious for the kingdom and for God's purposes. So there is no issue for theonomy with the fact that restitution is not mentioned because it doesn't even belong in this sentence, given what it is a wherefore sentence for. Remember, 425 says wherefore, and this is in context of the preceding long sentence that Paul has laid out for us, which is all about setting aside the old behavior and replacing it with a new behavior. The new behavior is not restitution. The new behavior is laboring to be productive and to give versus laboring to take, which is what theft is.